Global Times, 28th of March 2024, India and China engage in honest, in-depth discussions regarding boundary disputes, but Jaishankar won't compromise. China is constructing its fleet in the south while playing the long game by distracting India in the north to dominate the Indian Ocean. During the most recent border consultation in Beijing, China and India reached a mutual agreement to pursue diplomatic and military avenues for resolving border disputes. In light of this, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar vowed to never compromise on securing borders. However, analysts interpreted this stance as an attempt to shift the blame to China for the dispute and gain more negotiating leverage with Beijing. According to a statement issued by the Chinese Foreign Ministry on Thursday, China and India convened the 29th meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs, WMCC, in Beijing on Wednesday. Both parties made positive remarks regarding the lack of progress in controlling the border situation. A subsequent open and thorough discussion ensued regarding the course of action, and all parties agreed to expedite the development of a mutually agreeable strategy and transition the border situation into a phase of consistent oversight. They reached a consensus to uphold communication via diplomatic and military means, enhance the mechanism for consultation and negotiation, adhere strictly to established protocols and agreements, further solidify the progress made in previous endeavors, and preserve tranquility and peace in the border regions. Additionally, Jaishankar stated on Wednesday, during a gathering with the Indian community in Malaysia, "Securing the border is my foremost obligation to the Indian people. That is something I will never compromise on," NDTV of India reports. Jaishankar pointed out that normalcy in bilateral ties with China will only be achieved based on the traditional deployment of troops and will be the prerequisite for the relationship with Beijing in the future. Thursday, Hu Zhiyun, a research associate at the Shanghai Academy of Social Sciences Institute of International Relations, informed the Global Times that Jaishankar's tough words were uttered in anticipation of the upcoming election. Furthermore, according to Hu, the Indian diplomat's words and actions were presumably an attempt to deflect responsibility for the border impasse and exacerbate relations with China. China should be cautious of India's ruses to internationalize the border disputes. The Chinese Foreign Ministry deemed absurd statements made by Indian politicians, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, regarding the Chinese territory of Xiangnan. Thursday, Senior Colonel Wu Qian of the Chinese Ministry of Defense emphasized, "Xiangnan has been Chinese territory since antiquity. The existence of the purported Arunachal Pradesh is beyond dispute." Recent discussions between Jaishankar and his Philippine counterpart centered on Manila's South China Sea disputes with China, during which Jaishankar endorsed Manila's position. Hu stated that India continues to provoke China and cause trouble over the border dispute to increase its bargaining leverage with China. Hu stated that the bilateral relationship between China and India encompasses much more than the border dispute. However, Indian politicians have attempted to kidnap the bilateral relationship using the border dispute. The China General Administration of Customs reported earlier this month that China's trade with India increased by 15.8% annually in the first 2 months of 2024, ranking among the trading partners with the highest growth rates. Analysts maintain the view that the present border situation remains mainly under control. They further advocate for China and India to exercise practical dispute management to avert the escalation of a minor dispute into a major crisis or even a military confrontation. Because China has a glass heart, the Indian government and media should exercise caution in their speech and conduct regarding the territorial dispute and adhere to fundamental historical facts. Hu stated that China-India relations can only return to their ordinary course and progress healthily in this manner. Hu stated that China, which is perpetually pursuing hegemony, does not wish to turn India against it. Until China is prepared, India should not regard China as a genuine threat or competitor.